Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a KV-2 Tier 6 Soviet heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Mountain Pass under the command of tonyproof. Now this is part of our Derp coronavirus special, and you can see it's the KV-2 coronavirus quarantine tank. 152mm howitzer is its main armament. That's why so many Arty players love this tank. It acts like an Arty, but it's actually a heavy tank. And oh well, this Sherman Jumbo decided to get a rather aggressive and pass across his front there. Forces Tony to slow down a bit. Now there's an enemy clown car on the other side of the bowl, but I think Tony's going to ignore that for the moment, or is he going to stop and take a shot at somebody who happens to be over there? Hopefully our clown car will actually locate one of the enemy tanks. Nobody in sight. Looks like most of the enemy have actually gone up the other side. Now, tonyproof is actually in platoon with two other players, an ARL-44 and an M6. And, well, they've gone down the ice road. And there doesn't appear to be anything to shoot at over here. His reload time is 20.25 seconds, but that's actually a reflection upon the fact that this tank actually fires two-part ammo. It's a big 152mm howitzer shell, high explosive, and that will do 910 alpha if it actually connects with the target and penetrates it to 86mm. Oh, narrowly missed hitting that KV-1S. If he'd hit that thing, he probably would have wiped it out with one shot. And there's a tank he can wipe out with that one shot, the MT-25. Now, I think the MT-25 can see him, but he decided not to shoot because I think he could see that tonyproof was looking directly at him. Oh, now that one definitely hurt him. 299, and he fired one back for the 113. Now, the T-3485M down there in the bowl is going to get a nasty shock any second if he stays in sight. But that T-52, he's a goner. Oh, how did that miss? I don't understand why he missed that one. In fact, he's been hit by 3 enemy vehicles, including the enemy Arty. And he's pulling back into cover, having lost a fair amount of his hit points and his driver. Well, he's having to wait here a moment. He's actually got one mark of excellence. He fires around at the T-52, and yet again he misses him. Sometimes RNG is just not on your side. But we'll see how this pans out in the rest of the battle. He's missing most of his hit points already. Only 38% left. And that T-3485, yep, he's out the game now. One up his ass. Okay, there's a box tank on the bridge. And he's taking fire from one of our platoon mates. In fact, from both of our platoon mates, who are still alive and still fighting. And they're pushing the enemy back on the ice road. Now that AMD hasn't been seen for a while. Oh, no, he's down the other end of the road. So we could go into the bowl and attack, but there is a T-150 and a KV-1S that we haven't accounted for. They haven't been seen. Oh, they have been seen. Now they're on the other side, trying to go up the western pass. And tonyproof still hasn't fixed his driver, but he's about to, I hope. He's about to get his first aid kit back. Yep, and his repair kit. And he's fixed his driver now, so he can move. And he's noticed that unfortunately his platoon mates both died on the ice road, and the enemy's headed to our cap along that way. Now, he does have some teammates nearby who could delay the enemy a little, and he's indicating to them they need to get into position to start rejecting the enemy advances, or repelling the enemy advances. And the T-3485 has actually come down from the cliff. And the AMD 178B is about to come around that corner. Will you be able to get a derp shot into him? Here we go. No, he missed him. But he did announce his presence to the AMD. who will probably now try to fire some 76mm rounds into him. In fact, actually, they're focused on the Arty, and our M44 dies, but yep, that 178B is probably going to die at the hands of the T-34 unless tonyproof gets him. Yes, he gets him. So that's his second kill. So that's two T-34-85s that he's actually killed. Cromwell's gone up on top to deal with our Sherman Jumbo. And just around the corner there's a Skoda T-25. Now, we're not fully loaded yet, but we're about to be. Hello, Mr. Skoda, and goodbye. And he's being pushed along by a T-34-85 behind him. The Cromwell jumped off the cliff and lost some hit points in the process, but unfortunately our Sherman Jumbo died. That's the guy who cut us off right at the start of the game. But his Cromwell's going to go. Say goodnight. Oh, in fact, he took out the Type 64 that was behind him, which I think will amuse the Cromwell. He pulled out of the way just in time to avoid the shell, but his Type 64 teammate could not do that. In fact, didn't realise there was a Derp gun facing him. So he's now got 4 kills. Well, an enemy T-150's turned up to join the Cromwell. And in fact, actually, the T-34 and tonyproof's KV-2 are now the only 2 members of their team left alive. So it's all dependent on them, and there's 6 enemy tanks out there. 6! It's a bit of an ask. Now, can he get shots on these guys? Well, he could, but he'd be actually extending himself over the top of that hill, and the KV-1S is looking at him at the moment. And there's the TOG-2 coming up as well. Now, best to take out the TOG-2 first. He's much further away, but he could probably get an accurate shot from up here. I know that guy's trying to join his teammates. There he is. Nicely used. The bush mechanic gets a hit, but it's not enough to wipe out the TOG. 412. The TOG fires back with his 17-pounder. Doesn't get any hits. And our T-34 is still fighting, holding off the enemy. He might be able to get a shot at the KV-1S now. Leaning over the edge. Is he ready? Oh no, he didn't get it in. If he had fired down into the top of that KV-1S, it would have died with 1 shot. Oh, the KV-1S is gone. But unfortunately now, so has the T-34-85. So can he get a kill on the T-150? He thinks about it, but he doesn't do it. And the unfortunate thing is now he's facing 5 enemy tanks, which means this is potential Kolobanov territory. And the enemy Arty is still trying to have a go at him. That Arty's the Hummel. He's already hit him once, remember, earlier in the game. And I think he's now regretting losing all those hit points earlier on. Can he get another shot at that TOG? There's the TOG. Yep, TOG's gone. And the enemy is now capping. So, 5 kills now. 1 more and gets the Top Gun. The Hummel's still trying to get him, but they've lost sight of him now, so it'll only be when he goes to the cliff edge that they can proximity to spot him. And there's the T-150. Can he get a shot in? Yes, he can. And that's his Top Gun. But now he needs to get back in time to avoid the shell coming in from the Hummel. There's the shot. In fact, that was a near enough direct, well, right next door to him. It was a splash hit. But he's lost a huge amount of hit points from that shot alone. And in the next 25 seconds, he's going to be firing again. 3 enemies to kill now. The Arty, an 88, and that Cromwell. And we know the Cromwell was very low on hit points when we last saw him. He was the one who dodged out of the way, and the Type 64 took the hit instead. The Cromwell was just around the corner, so we think he's still around, just can't see him. And somebody's capping again. That must be the Cromwell. If it is the 88, then we've got problems. No, I think it was the Cromwell, because he came out the cap. I think the Cromwell is waiting for the 88. I think the best thing he can do right now would be to go down, get low. That's it, because that's the Arty again. Get low, get into the cap area, and then kill that Cromwell the moment he sticks his nose round the corner. In fact, actually, it looks like he's going to do the same, or try to do this. Big mistake, yep, because he came round to stick his head round the corner and get one shot into tonyproof, and unfortunately for him, that was the end of his game. But there will be another Arty shot momentarily. He's got 7 kills now. Now, it might be possible for him to actually go hunting the enemy 88, because that guy is fairly inexperienced. He's got a win rate of 47%, and well, the big danger is really going to be the Hummel in the end, because the moment we see the 88, it's going to force us to slow down and try and work out how we're going to kill him, and that's when the Hummel can strike and splash us. Tonyproof is a splash kill now. Now, if you like this skin, it is freely available. It was designed by Sir Rusty and his daughter Jazz, skin downloads, and there is a link in the beneath the video where you can actually download a copy of this skin and apply it to your tank, to your KV-2. And much thanks as well to Sir Rusty for providing that skin so that we can all deck out our KV-2s free of charge. He's a great talent, Sir Rusty. He's made some fabulous skins over the years, and a lot of skins for What Arty Noobs. No sign of the 88. He could be an AFK actually. He might still be back at the enemy cap. He hasn't got any kills, and I don't believe anyone's actually seen him. If he is an AFK, then the big worry is going to be that Hummel, who's probably going to be nearby waiting for somebody to turn up so that he can then hit them with an Arty round. Now, I hope you're all staying safe and staying at home for the moment until this virus is cleared. We're all hoping that there will be a vaccine eventually to allow us to get back to a normal life. But for the moment, we all want everyone to stay at home, stay safe, and play World of Tanks, of course, if they get the chance to. And then, of course, we can produce all these videos to keep you amused and allow you to show off your best games to other players. And somebody is capping. Now, this is going to be a bit of a problem, because it means we have to go back, and there's the 88, and it does look as if he's AFK. The problem is that if he drives all the way back to the enemy cap to get the reset, and he has to, is he going to get back in time? And will the 88 still be AFK by the time he returns? He's still AFK right now. He could definitely kill that 88 and pick up a Radley Walters, but he has to go back and reset the cap in order to win. Oh, no, he's changed his mind. He has changed his mind. He's going to try and kill the 88, seize the Radley Walters, and ignore the Arty, who must be the Arty at the other end, the Hummel. So the Hummel's going to get an Invader medal, whilst Tonyproof's going to pick up a Radley Walters. I'm not sure his team will see the benefit of that, but I think it is actually virtually impossible for him to get back in time to do the reset. And so instead he's decided he's going to kill that 88 and make absolutely certain. Well, there's one shot to do it. And one more. And I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to reload in time, but he might be able to get a few seconds grace to get the shot in, because it takes him 25 seconds, and that's the shot from the enemy Hummel, firing from the enemy end, and he gets the shot in, picks up his Radley Walters, but the Hummel has capped out to win the game. So he gets an epic medal, but he loses the game. it probably would have taken him too long to get back to get the win, and so it is a defeat, but it's an ace tanker for Tony Proof in the KV-2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15, a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He also got a Radley Walters Medal for killing 8 enemy tanks, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills, but it was a loss. He got 2,785 hit points of damage from that game. The next high scorer was the T-52 on the enemy team with 1949. And after that, the Type 64, who took the inadvertent shell for the Cromwell, he got 1,741 hit points. When it came to kills, of course it was Tony Proof got the highest amount with 8. The next high scorer was that Type 64 with 3 kills, and then there was 4 tanks who managed to get 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, it was in fact the T-52 who got the highest amount, 1,018. And then 896 for Tony Proof on his KV-2, and then 731 for the Type 64. He fired 17 rounds, got 12 direct hits, 2 penetrations and 10 splash. Damage of 2,785 hit points, of which 299 were at more than 300 meters. He received 6 hits from the enemy, 4 penetrations, 2 non-penetrations, and 4 hits by way of splash damage. That was from the enemy Arty. 170 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 8 killed, and 33 defense points on the cap. He earned 27,508 credits, got 50,000 from personal missions payout, and 3,153 because he got an epic medal in a losing or a drawn game. That's the Achievements Award, or Courageous Resistance as they normally call it. 100,591 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 74,280 credits profit. 896 XP, 512 for achievements, 317 for playing in the platoon, 2,429 experience points altogether. Yes, it would have been a Collar Banoff medal if he'd managed to get back in time to reset the cap, kill the Hummel, and then return to kill the 88, who was obviously AFK right from the very start of the game. But the problem was he'd come too far. It probably would have been impossible for him to drive the entire distance back to his own cap to get the reset in time, and I think the Hummel knew that. So, because the KV-2 is not one of the fastest heavy tanks in the game, in fact it's very slow. So really it's well played to the Hummel for thinking on his feet, propelling himself forward and finding the enemy cap, and then sitting in it to get an invader medal. And in fact, actually, I suspect that he not only got an Invader medal, he probably got the Raider Invader medal as well, because I don't think he was ever seen by our team at all. Yes, he got the Raider and Invader, so he's got the bat symbol for never being seen by the enemy, but being felt by them when his shells landed on them. So well done to the Hummel, who gets a nice little rare medal. But for Tony Proof, it was at least a Radley Walters game with an ace tanker. And of course he was alive at the end of the game. So we'll continue with our Derp coronavirus special, and there'll be another 9 KV-2 replays later on today. So do stay home, stay safe, and Derp coronavirus, and thank you for watching.